Good morning. What's up, y'all? All right, let's get set up here again. Still trying to find the perfect setup for this every morning. This is a little bit different doing this with the computer, but I'm really liking it. But man, it's looking a little fuzzy on this end again, just like it was yesterday. Hmm. I don't know. Anyway, I got to find something to set this on. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good morning. Hello. I know this is a little bit later than I normally do this, but I actually have it mapped out to here to when I'm on here for 30 minutes. I'm going to have to go run and get the kids up. I'm going to have to go run and get the kids up here in a half hour. So I don't know how long we're going to be able to sit on here and blibber blabber, but what's up with y'all this morning, man? What's good with you? What is good? I'm getting my coffee on, getting the coffee going. I'm sore. I don't talk about it very much anymore. But man, I'm on that next level of fitness. I'm bodybuilding now. Bodybuilding now. We went through for the first year and some change shredding my body fat off and was pretty successful with that. Now for the past, I want to say month, for about the past month, we've officially been pumping heavy weight bodybuilding. And that sucks. It sucks, man. It hurts. It hurts, dude, especially targeting specific muscles. I know I got to the point where I was like, man, I talk about this fitness too much, so I kind of stopped talking about it for a while. But I'm going to talk about it for a minute this morning. Bodybuilding, dude, is targeting specific muscles, Ooh, it ain't no joke, dude. Like the chest muscles. Ugh. Because as I started getting as I started shredding my fat off and getting kind of skinny, he was able to see, okay, you're looking kind of weak up here. Okay, you ain't got no muscle tone up here. And he's like, all right, well, we got to start focusing on that incline bench press. Bro. Where I sit on the incline and I got to bench press and press up like that. And it gets my upper chest. And these muscles up here are just like, and my shoulder muscles and shit. I'm hurting this morning. Ugh. And I got pull day today, where you pull and you get your back muscles going. Whew, it's a different ball game. Different ball game now. But anyway. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Now it's gonna be, see, I'm looking at the screen here and the comments are right here. So this is, it's easier. That's one thing I do like about this, though, is when I'm live on my main tarot channel, it's easier to ignore the comments over there. You know what I mean? It's easier to ignore them. And yeah, I do kind of, like, if I see, if I'm in the middle of a live stream and I got a good fucking flow going and I see a troll over there, I just ignore it. I just ignore it. Okay, don't look at the comments, just look at the screen. And it's way easier to do that on here. On the phone, when I was working on my phone, that took a whole different level of focus because the comments are coming up on the screen, So I gotta, like, I'm just telling you some of the behind the scenes stuff, what it takes to do this job. So when I was on my phone, I'd be rolling through, man, a good flow, this good, you know what I mean? I'm just rolling. Then I see a troll. I'm like, fuck, don't focus on that. Focus on, like I'll find something to focus on and something to stare at so that I'm not, man, it requires some focus, dude, to do this job for a living, man. It requires some focus. To do this. And it's easier on this right here because, like, the comments are not even on the screen. They're over here off to the side. So I just look at the screen. I can't see what's going on over here. But when I'm wanting to interact, though, it is a little bit more difficult. So anyway, getting jacked. Yeah, I probably will be before long. Before too long. Definitely by summertime. He said by next spring, next summer, he said, you're going to be a tank. I do. I grow my legs. Oh man, my legs are huge. I'm almost having to go up an underwear size because my thighs are getting so fucking huge and massive. They're just, every day we do some kind of leg work and my thighs are just a solid rock of muscle, dude. So my muscles do grow. They do grow, but this is the first time in my life I've ever targeted specific muscle groups to body build. It's a very interesting journey, very strange, very strange. But that's my whole goal in life, is to transform. My whole goal in life is to transform. So whatever it takes, as long as next November, as long as I'm completely unrecognizable next November to who I am right now. And I know there's some of you watching who are going to stick with me through the whole journey. Okay. So pay attention. Pay attention. I know there's some of you who have been watching me from the beginning. Some of you, there's a small little handful of you who have been with me since day one. Tell them I'm different every year, ain't I? Different every year. And this isn't nothing new. I didn't start doing this when I became known on YouTube. No. I've been doing this for years. At least the past 6 years. About half of this journey you all have been on with me, because the past 3 years has been here on YouTube, public. 3 years before that is when I very first stepped off on my path, my journey, and I've been transforming into a different version of myself year by year by year by year by year. And that's the whole goal. That's the whole goal, So what's it going to be like next year? I don't know. How's it going to happen? When's it? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just rolling with the flow as the universe brings it to me. You know what I mean? So different every 6 months. Maybe. Am I moving that fast now? I don't know. I might be. I don't really look. I look at it from year to year. I look at it like, am I the same person this year as I was last year? And I know I'm not. Last November, completely unrecognizable. The way that I think, the way I look at things, the way I feel about things, my opinions on things, my physical appearance, everything, So that's what, Oh, you've been watching me since Idaho. Okay, Jackie, right on. Right on. That's not quite the beginning of the journey, but that's about halfway through it so far up to this point. That's pretty close. It was still fresh back when I was in Idaho. That was actually, this is the funny thing about the journey, is that when you all knew of me being in Idaho, that was my second time living in that city, in that little town. I don't know if you call it a town or a city, but a little bitty Idaho town. It was my second time living in that town. I kind of touched on it yesterday. The very first time I lived in that town, the only reason I ever went there is because when I was living in Louisville, Kentucky, in the wintertime, I went homeless. I ended up going homeless and sleeping on the streets in the wintertime. And I didn't beg for help. But some random Facebook friend, some person that randomly added me. Okay. And I'm going to tell you how random this is. This person didn't even have a profile picture. Those people who they have a name, but they don't have a real profile picture. It'll just be like a picture of something else, you don't have anything to associate this person with. So I totally forgot this person even added me. They added me as a friend and then never said anything. We talked. They added me as a friend. We talked a couple of times. Hey, how you doing? I like the stuff that you post, this and that. And then poof, disappeared. Never hit no likes, no nothing. I forgot about this person even being there. Well, 2 or 3 months later, somehow this person found out that I was going through something rough and asked me what's going on with you. And I told him, I was like, yo, I'm not doing too good right now. So she said, I'll give you a place to live if you can make it here. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? A lot of people knew what was going on with me, and they didn't even care. You know how many people knew I was sleeping outside in the winter? They knew. A lot of people knew. Nobody offered me any help. So this is the first person that offered me some help. He said, if you can make it here, you can stay here. So you ain't got to ask me twice. I kept working, and until I got my last check, bought me a bus ticket, and I bounced. Okay. Well, as soon as I got there, that was when this crazy, insane connection with this person overtook me. You know, didn't expect it. Didn't know what this person looked like. Didn't know nothing about him. Only thing that was on my mind was, um, I'm getting a warm place to stay. That was the only thing on my mind. I'm not going to freeze to death. You know. And then when I got there, I experienced this really intense connection with the person that invited me there, and it freaked me out. It scared me. I didn't like it. At the time, I had never felt a connection that intense before. It was really weird and crazy and scary. And that was what, long story short, you know, I lived that little experience there for about 6 months, departed from there. And then about a year after that is when I saw my first tarot video that told the story about that connection. And in some of the YouTube tarot videos, some of them, this is how crazy and accurate it was back then. Some of them even threw that detail in there that you had to uproot and travel, you know, to connect with this person. You may have had to uproot and travel. And I'm like, damn, you know, and anyway. So that was, then I ended up going back to that town. Because I started bouncing around all over the place, and I ended up going back to that town for a little bit, and that's where me and Leah met. Anyway, man, I'm babbling. I always get to babbling when I get on here in the morning. Old man sleeping outside in the winter ain't no joke, boy. Oh, it ain't no joke. No joke. It was even harder too, because the area that I was living in at the time was not an area that was homeless friendly. You know, the first time when I told you all that I ended up living that lifestyle for like 6 months, that was an area that was very homeless friendly. You know, lots of homeless people were in that town. There was a whole homeless community. There was homeless outreach programs. This period in time where I spent in the wintertime was not homeless friendly. There was no homeless community out there. It was a really upscale, fancy, high class end of, basically, essentially, it was like Henderson. For those of you who know Vegas, it was like the Henderson of Louisville. It was called St. Matthews and Prospect. You know how cities will have their little inner cities, you know, like in Vegas here, you have Henderson. Well, they're in Louisville, in the upscale, fancy, nice end of town, they had Prospect and St. Matthews. And I was in St. Matthews, and it's much more upscale. You know, there's no homeless people there. No homeless people. You don't see no homeless people. There's barely any place for a homeless person to live. You know, it's real nice and fancy, just like Henderson, you know. So it was hard. That was really hard. That, you know, there wasn't access to services. There wasn't access to, to none of that, man. So it was a rough one. Survival was very difficult during that little period. I almost didn't make it. I almost died. I was starving to death because I couldn't afford food. I was starving to death. I was eating, no shit. I shit you not. I was eating like 3 meals a week. 3 meals a week. I got so skinny, scrawny, bony, and I was losing so much weight so fast. And I didn't have enough access to food to keep my weight at least leveled out and maintained. I was losing like 20 pounds a week. It got bad. I almost didn't make it. I was this close. I was more than 1 foot in the grave. I was mostly in the grave with one hand out of the grave. It got bad at that point, you know. So it's telling y'all, man, I got some pretty horrific stories that led me here. Some pretty horrific stories, dude. So anywho. Oh, you're in Louisville? Okay. Yeah, that's where I was. I was out in St. Matthews when that happened. I was out there. I was working at Reliable Rentals. They changed the name, although, to that place. I forget what they call it now. It was off Old LaGrange Road. When you turn on Old LaGrange Road and it curves right there next to that gas station, there's this place there, and what they do is they sell tents and shit. They don't sell them; they rent them out. It's a rental company, you know. Like if you're gonna put on a wedding, these people put on these big ass weddings where you build these big tents. I worked on for that company that would go take them out there and build them and stuff, you know. So anyway, yeah, that was a scary chapter. Dude. Oh, hang on. Let me get some incense going, y'all. Hody do. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, wow. All right. All right. Oh. Anywho, where y'all going? What y'all got going on? Ooh, ooh. Your oldest son's homeless? Yep. I got a brother. My brother's on that journey. It's a rough one. To me, though, man, y'all hear me tell my story. I truly, firmly believe that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing that ever happened to me. I just posted this on Facebook the other day. The best thing that ever happened to me was being abandoned by everyone. Abandoned and left for dead. It's the best fucking thing that ever happened to me. You know what I mean? Best thing that ever happened to me. I never would have discovered myself, found who I am in my own true power if I was still being coddled and supported with my toxic ways of thinking and my self-destructive behaviors and thought patterns. Everybody abandoned me and leaving me for dead because there's this thing that happens. There's this thing that happens with a lot of people that when it's life or death, something's going to click. And that beast is going to awaken within you and you're going to figure out how to survive. You know what I mean? You're going to figure out how to survive. I've heard a lot of arguments to contend that statement. I personally, from my experience, when it's life or death, that beast will awaken. This beast you didn't even know you had in you. This version of you that you didn't even know was in there will awaken and you'll figure out how to survive and make it happen. Or will you? I don't know. I have seen some people get addicted to rock bottom. It depends on anybody that you all know that's on this journey. It really depends on whether or not they are addicted to rock bottom. You know what I mean? I've seen some people go down there and they get addicted to rock bottom. And then, man, they never find their way. They get addicted to it down there, and then it ends up killing them. You know. So anyway, homeless through a winter in Clarksville, Tennessee. Yeah, that's close by. That's close to where I was. Tennessee's real close by. I tell you what, man, when I was homeless, speaking of Tennessee, some of you all know this, but this was so cool. For a good portion of my homeless experience, I had this job. There was this. Now, later on, I ended up finding out that I don't think this job was legit, like at all. But I didn't know it at the time. There was this dude that had this car lot. Okay. And he would pay anybody who wanted to do it, which was mainly bums off the streets, to drive down to Nashville in teams and grab cars from the auctions. He would buy these cars at the auctions and he would pay each of us $50 a car to ride down in a team, grab some cars and bring them back up to Jeffersonville, Indiana, which is right across the bridge from Louisville, Kentucky. And that's what I did for a living. That's how I made my money for like the first 3-4 months that I was homeless. Why not? Somebody approached me and said, "Hey, you want a job?" I said, "Hell yeah, I want a job." So you want to go to Tennessee? You bet your damn skippy ass I do. You know? All right, well, meet me here at this spot at this time every day. All right, then. So they would come pick us up. We would all roll down about an hour and a half, 2 hours down to Nashville, Tennessee, to the auctions. We would grab us a car, drive it back up, get $50. Sometimes, like a lot of times, we could go back, grab another car, and it'd be $100 a day. Man, dude, broke ass, homeless, ain't got no way to make money, nothing to do. I didn't want to be homeless. I didn't like being homeless. I don't like bumming. I didn't want to panhandle. I was too embarrassed. I was too ashamed to panhandle and bum. Man, you gonna tell me all I got to do? I could just drive down to Tennessee. I could just ride down and then drive a car and I make money doing that? Fuck yeah, dude. That was fun. That was cool. Like I said, my dad was homeless too. And that was the last time that I got to spend with him before he passed away. and we closed up a lot of our old negative, the negativity from years. And I didn't meet him till I was 16, and he was a cuckoo. That's a totally different story for a different video, but we got to patch everything up right there, living together, homeless. That was cool. We did that together. A bunch of us did that. But anyway, that was a part that a lot of times I forget about that, and that gets left out of the story a lot. So, yep, that was cool. But no, no, it turned out. Well, I never found this out for 100% sure, but it was rumored. Let's just put it this way: it was rumored that dude was a drug dealer, and he was laundering his money through a car lot. It didn't even really look like a legit car lot, dude. It didn't even look like a legit car lot. It looked kind of like a little storage facility that we would take these cars to. Didn't really look legit. So I kind of believe it. I don't think it was a legit car lot. I don't think it was. I think this dude was a big time drug dealer, big time, high level drug dealer, and he was laundering his money through a car lot. So see what I'm saying? So anyway, I don't know. I'm just a homeless bum, and you're paying me to go drive cars. Okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the story. So that's how I survived for the first half of being homeless. And then we would get back up there to Jeffersonville, and then we would get out, and then we'd have our little $50 or whatever and go get our drink, a little half gallon of vodka. We would get our food with it and our cigarettes or whatever we needed, and wake up next day and do it again. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. It was fun. It was neat. Like I said, there is not one single experience on my journey that I would go back and change if I could. Not one of them. Not one of them. I love my whole story. Not even the scary one I just told you. I wouldn't go back and change that. Oh, I would not go relive it, though. I wouldn't relive that. Nope, that was horrifying. That was terrifying. Almost starving to death and almost freezing to death was horrifying, terrifying. I wouldn't go back and relive that. Nope, I sure would not. I'm going to have to leave y'all hanging here in just a couple of minutes while I go wake my kids up. I'm having fun here. I could get off of here, but I don't really want to. Anyway, this is fun, dude. I like doing this in the morning. And I usually, the main reason why I don't normally do this throughout the week is because the kids got to get up and get ready and stuff like that. But, oh, well, they're quiet. And it's way down the hall there, their bathroom and everything. They got their own bathroom. Another thing I love about this house, dude. Is they got their rooms and their own bathroom at the end of the hall there. I was talking the other day, and I was telling you I don't want to leave here anymore. I really don't, man. I really don't. That would be don't put any stamps on my words. I'm not saying we're definitely not leaving. I'm not saying we definitely are. But right now, I'll tell you where I am. My feelings right now, I don't want to. I really don't want to. I want to stay. I want to extend the lease another year. That's what I want to do. Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to do. I have no idea. But that's what I want to do right now. In this moment, I want to extend the lease another year. I want to stay here. But who knows? We could end up, because like I said, the lenders was the last I heard from the lenders, they said you could pretty much qualify for whatever the hell you want. But the payments aren't going to be that good because my credit's not that good. And I don't have that many years of taxes. They said, start working on your credit, which we are. My credit's getting some massive work. It's higher than it's ever been in my life. Working on my credit, and wait till you get your 2021 taxes and we can get you a way better deal. But you know what? I don't even want to do that anymore, man. I don't even want to do that no more. I really don't want to. I look around at this house and I'm like, this would be a pain in the wiener to pack all this shit up, man. For what? Why? Why are we going to pack all this shit up and then move somewhere? Because we're bored. That's it. That's really it. Unless, I tell you what, if we could find a house that's just as nice as this, if not nicer, and the mortgage payments would be like half of what my rent payments are, I would do that. I would do that. I'd be like, all right, let's move then. Let's move then. If we're getting a house that's just as nice or nicer, and the mortgage payments are like $1,000 a month, fucking let's go. Let's go. We're paying $3,200 a month here. 3,200, and yeah, we can afford it. We can afford it. You know, it's nothing. But that would be the only way you could get me to get up and move out of here. Be the only way you could do it. Only way you could do it. I don't want to anymore. I want to stay. I want to stay. I want to stay. And even if we do move, even if we do buy a house, even if we do, I don't want to leave Henderson. I don't want to. I really don't want to. We've looked everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And one of the biggest things that we were looking for is space. And you can't find that here. You cannot find that here, period. Nope, not in Vegas. Nope, you cannot find space. You know, like a big isolated place with no neighbors. It's not here. We looked everywhere. Everywhere. Can't find it. Nope. We cannot find any house where you couldn't piss on your neighbor's house from your yard. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, let's just stay here. Let's stay. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't want to move. I can get a house payment for less than that. Well, like I said, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. We have spent this whole fucking year, all year long, we've been spending, you know, with this shit. And then, like I said, and then all of a sudden, the monkey wrench got thrown in our plans. Because then we were going to move my mom out here. So we said, you know what? Let's just stay here, scrap that, and let's buy my mom a little like trailer or a little small house, a little something little teeny tiny, you know, just to get her out here because she's living in an RV right now. And it was the dogs. We can't find any community around here that will allow her dogs. No community. No, like, because even if you buy a plot of land, there's still a community that it's in. She's got 4 huge pit bulls. 4 huge pit bulls. We couldn't find any community that had anything for sale that would allow 4 humongous pit bulls, you know? So we said, all right, well, we'll rent you something then. So we even tried to rent, and there's no rental properties anywhere in the Vegas area that will allow 4 ginormous pit bulls that are like over 100 pounds apiece. You know what I mean? Couldn't find it. So we're like, all right, well, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it all. Just stay. Whatever, you know? So anyway, live in the woods. I've done that. Lived in the woods. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no place. No, I don't know what the fuck. It's so stupid, dude. Now, okay. I'm not a dog person. I'm really not a dog person. Don't prefer them. They're annoying, I think. That doesn't mean I hate your dog. I love all animals equally, but as far as pets, I'm not a dog person. I would really rather not have a dog. At least now, maybe one day I might change my mind on that. I'm open to that. But and I definitely am not a big fan of pit bulls. I just think they're annoying. But I don't understand the pit bull hatred. I don't get that. I think it's really stupid. I don't understand why everybody's so scared of them, why they're not allowed anywhere. They ain't gonna hurt you. They ain't gonna fucking do nothing to you. You know what I mean? They ain't not gonna hurt you, dude. It's like there's this prejudiced racism against pit bulls, and it's so fucking stupid. I'm not a big fan of them. I think they're annoying. They're the most annoying dogs there are. They're too stubborn. They don't listen. They're too hyper. But they are not gonna hurt you, dude. They are not gonna do nothing to you. They are the fucking most harmless ass fucking, you know what I mean? They are so stupid. It's so annoying. Hold up, y'all. I'm going to leave you hanging for just a minute. I'm going to run down the hall and wake my kiddos up. Hang on just a minute, y'all. All right. Okie dokie. Y'all still with me? Cool, cool. All right. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, man, I think it's so stupid that all these stupid laws about pit bulls, man. So dumb, dude. So dumb. I don't like saying things that are corny and cliche, but I'm very much there with um, the people who like say a pit bull's not going to hurt you unless you're mean to it. you know, if you're mean and abusive, any animal's going to be mean. It's going to turn any animal into any animal. Doesn't matter what kind of dog it is. I don't care what kind of dog you got. If you're mean and you beat it and you're abusive to it and you starve it and all this shit, of course it's going to turn mean. But like I think it's dumb that everybody's always so scared of pit bulls and stupid. I've never met a mean pit bull. I've never seen one. Never ever seen one. Never seen one. And that was another big thing. Speaking of, that was one of the big things because back probably 15 years ago, about 15 years ago, it was real big in the news. The media was trying to get you afraid of pit bulls. I don't know if this was like a worldwide thing or what, but at least the local news media where I was about 15 years ago there in Louisville, Kentucky, was trying to scare you, trying to get you scared of pit bulls, And back in the day, before I knew any better, it worked. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day when you that's what you do. You listen to the news to find out what's going on, I believed it. And then I started seeing people with pit bulls, Never saw a mean pit bull. I'd be like, well, that's confusing. This is yet another thing that I heard on the news that doesn't seem to be true, Now I can count a lot of those Ace of Swords moments that I had back in the day, A lot of them back in the day where it's like, well, that doesn't seem to be true. What the hell? You know what I mean? Anyway. Rottweilers, yeah, man. I'm just really not a big dog person. I'm really not. I just don't really want one as a pet. We toss the idea around every now and then. Every once in a blue moon, we'll toss around. Hey, you want to get a dog? Then we start thinking about it. No, not really. Not really. I mean, to me, now this is going to sound kind of mean. It's probably might piss some dog people off, but I just feel like, and Leah feels the same way, that most people only want dogs because they're emotionally codependent. If you are emotionally codependent and you have this void in your heart, and you have to have a loving connection with an outside individual, and that's the only thing that can make you happy. I think that's why people turn to dogs. Because dogs are needy. And if you're one of those types of people who you just cannot live without some sort of needy connection from an outside person or animal or individual, get you a dog, because they will needy love you, their whole life. Loyal, needy and loyal. No matter what you do, they will always be there needing you. That's what I truly believe why people like dogs, because they're codependent. That's gonna sound horrible. I probably just pissed a few people off, but that's how I feel about it, man. That's how I feel about it. So I like cats, dude. Cats are so cool because they don't fucking need you. They do have their spirit. Oh, don't get it twisted one bit. If you connect with a cat the right way, they will go through their phases of neediness. Oh, yes, they will. I guarantee you this morning, our orange cat, his name is Taro. He'll be outside that door. He'll come up meowing to me, begging me to let him in the room. And then he jumps up on Leah, right next to Leah on the bed, and starts kneading on her, and follows her around everywhere. And they go through their periods of neediness, but then once they have enough, they're like, all right, cool. I'm good. Let me go do me now. That's the way it should be, I think. I think that's the way it should be. I think that's the way it should be. So, why in the world I got to go through all my settings here. Hang on, y'all. I'm going to make a mental note. I need to go through my settings because it hides some comments. I don't know. I got to see why. I don't know why that happens. But anyway, yeah, I feel like that's the way it should be, dude. I feel like that's the way it should be. You know, need you for a little bit, give me some love, because that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of person Leah is. You know, we're both very emotionally independent people who don't rely on anything out here or any person or anything to be our only source of, you know, emotional fulfillment. You know, that's just the kind of people that we are. And I think that if you're a cat person, I don't think I've ever met a codependent cat person. I don't think I ever have. I seriously think people always, it's the endless debate. It's the debate that never ends. But, the debate between dog people and cat people. And this is my stance on it. I'm just going to go ahead and give you my 2 cents. This is my personal opinion. You can take it or leave it. But I feel like the difference between dog people and cat people is codependency. I seriously think it is. I think dog people are codependent and cat people aren't. I've never met a cat person. I'm talking about if you specifically prefer cats over dogs. I've never met a cat person who's codependent. I never have. A lot of cat people are single by choice, Just saying, never met a codependent cat person. What do y'all think about that? Y'all agree with that or no? I couldn't agree more. Right on. Mm-hmm. That's just from what I've seen. That's But no, I don't want to have a dog as a pet because cats, man, dude, I don't know how cats know this. They're so insanely fucking smart, dude. Smart. I personally think cats are smarter than dogs. I really think that they are. I think they are. Man, I don't know how. You set the litter box up, brand new kitten, ain't been off the tit for a week or two. Maybe not even that. Somehow it knows where it's supposed to shit. Didn't have to train it. I've never had to litter train a cat. You set up the litter box and it knows. That's where I shit. I go shit in that thing and I bury it. Don't have to teach it. Don't have to tell it. Don't have to train it. You just pick it up and put it in the box there and it sniffs around and it digs a little bit and it knows this is where I shit. Dogs, though, good fucking Christ almighty. You're going to have to be cleaning up doo-doo and piss in the house because it takes forever to train them that when they have to go to the bathroom to let you know that they need to go outside. And here we live in an HOA neighborhood and we have, so outside our neighborhood, it goes and it loops around outside the neighborhood and then comes back around. And this big long stretch down by the main road outside of our neighborhood, we call it Dog Turd Lane. We call it Dog Turd Lane because if you go walk down the side, that's where everybody walks their dogs, and you see piles of dog shit all along in the dirt up there. So we call it Dog Turd Lane. And there's I just want to have to clean up after them. Of course, if you take them down Dog Turd Lane, you won't have to clean up. They just doo-doo there, But in the neighborhoods here, we live in an HOA neighborhood, I just don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with training a dog, cleaning up doo-doo inside the house. You walk into this house, you could not tell by smelling that we have cats. We are on time. Leah's like way more than me, but we are on top of cleaning those litter boxes. We get the Febreze multi-cat. You could not walk into this house. Some people, you walk in their house and it smells like piss, because they don't clean the litter boxes. We got 2 litter boxes, one upstairs, one downstairs, and we keep those things clean religiously. We're constantly scooping it and taking it out. So you can't smell nothing, nothing. You can't walk into this house and tell that we have cats. If you didn't see them, you wouldn't even know, unless you're allergic to them, So anyway, yeah, I'm very, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to have to deal with all that. It seems like it'd be too much trouble. But again, maybe I'll change my mind one day. Maybe I'll change my mind one day. I've really been working on being that because, like I was telling y'all yesterday, I'm a fixed sign. I'm an Aquarius. Okay, so that fixed energy, and way I look at it, it's our responsibility as individuals to identify our energies and figure out how to work with them. So I've been working really, really hard on being a flexible kind of person, being flexible and picking and choosing my battles. Like if I'm going to be, your average fixed, stubborn person, if they make a decision, they're just sticking with that decision no matter what. If you're a fixed sign that's not very evolved, yeah, you probably just make a decision and you just stick with that decision and never change your mind for no reason. For no reason. I'm not like that. I'm open to changing my mind. I'm open to changing my perspective, for whatever reason. Say, man, let's get us a little doggy, I might, but as of right now, no. 3 Goldens. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Whew, big dogs too, huh? Big doggies. Man, I couldn't picture it. Couldn't picture it. And they're loud. Oh, man, that's another thing. Fucking loud. I don't need all that, man. I don't need no loud ass. Oh, I hate the noise. I hate the noise, man. Oh, man. I don't know. I sound horrible. It doesn't mean that I hate dogs. It just means I don't want one. It's my responsibility. I just don't want to take care of one. I don't want to care for one. I don't want to have one living in the house, I love your dog. If I came over to your house, I'd probably hug your dog and pet it, and play with it. But I just don't want one that lives in my house and it's my responsibility. You know what I mean? Makes sense? I'm one of those types. I love my kitty cats, man. And check this out. Let's take the biggest, baddest ass dog. We're just talking about the battle between dogs and cats. Take the biggest, baddest ass dog on the planet. It still couldn't kick the ass of the biggest, baddest cat. Oh, no, it couldn't. You want to talk about dogs and cats? There is not one. I challenge anybody on the face of the planet Earth. I don't care how tough your dog is, how mean it is, what breed it is. It will not be able to whoop the ass of the biggest, baddest cat. Put it up against a tiger. Put it up against the biggest, baddest tiger. That dog ain't going to stand a chance. Nope. I don't care how bad your dog is. You put it up against the biggest, baddest tiger. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's my alarm. I don't care how big and bad your dog is. You ain't going to put it up against the biggest, baddest tiger. Cats are just where it's at, man. Cats are just where it's at. Yeah, they're vicious. You think about it, man. A cat is the most finely tuned killing machine on the planet, on land. If you think about it, man, it's just every little thing about it is built for speed and hunting and killing. But man, my cats, though, here's the thing. Oh, and this is where it gets real cool and spiritual, though. So, how many of y'all are fans of Dolores Cannon? Got any Dolores Cannon fans in here? I'm a huge Dolores Cannon fan. And I like it how she talks. And I was listening to this one the other night about when she's doing past life regressions on people and they go back to their previous lifetimes as certain animals. And she was saying that like animals are typically governed, like in the wild, they're typically like a herd of animals are governed by one oversoul. One oversoul will be in charge of the whole herd of animals. But then when we humans take an animal with our perception and we pull it away from the herd and we give it a name and we give it a personality and we start giving it, you know what I mean? We help create that entity to prepare to be incarnated as a human in their next lifetime, and you can kind of tell. I think that's so fascinating. When we get animals, from the spiritual perspective, a lot of that has to do with preparing that entity to be a human in its next lifetime, because we, with the creative power of our perception, are giving it an identity and a name, and it develops its own personality, and we show it love as an individual, so its next lifetime is more than likely going to be a human. And man, we got one, man, our newest little kitten, boy, he's a wild one. He's wild. I would never have to worry about him. If he ever ended up getting out, he'd survive. He'd survive. But our other two, they'd die. They would die. They are ready to incarnate as humans. Our cat Sage, he probably has a couple of more animal lifetimes, But our cats Spare and Taro, oh man, ain't no way. They're not coming back as animals. They're coming back as humans. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey, golden retrievers can be some badasses. They can though. Mm-hmm. Yep, they can be some badasses. That's another thing. Some people have dogs to protect their family, you know. That's another big thing that I'm not really worried about. Not really. I sleep next to a loaded 9mm. I don't really feel like I need a dog to protect my family. And if anybody was to try to break it, first of all, this house would be very hard to break into. If you tried breaking into this house, it would wake one of us up. This is like, I've accidentally locked myself out of this house before. This would be a very difficult house to try to break into. You'd be making a lot of very loud ass noise if you tried to break into this house. If you tried to break in here, it would make some noise and wake somebody up. Yep. So yeah, we are strapped. We are strapped here at this house. We don't like always carry. Every once in a blue moon, I'll carry it, but I really don't like to. But we do have guns in our room. Oh, yes, we do. I don't really feel like I need a dog for that. But that's a different topic for a different video. But anyway, it'd be cool. Hey, man, it'd be cool to have a guard cat, wouldn't it? I don't know, man. Some people in those other countries, they have like tigers as pets and shit. Woo! Man, cats are cute when they're little. Man, once they get a certain size, man, they're fucking scary. I ain't gonna lie, man, they're scary. Finely tuned killing machines. You know what I mean? Yeah, my other cat's name is Sparrow, and he would never survive on his own. He was the runt. So he lives in fear. Still to this day, he is a scaredy cat. I literally watched him scare himself with his own shadow. I'm not even playing. He was walking along, and then all of a sudden, he walked in front of a light, and his shadow hit the wall, and he went, like, I'm not even playing. He is a scaredy cat. He hates strangers. If we ever have like a maintenance person come to the house or anybody comes over to the house, he runs to the cabinet and opens up the cabinet and goes and hides. He's just scared all the time, dude. Yeah, he's a scaredy cat. He was the first one for those. Okay, so this is for those of you who have been watching for a long time. Remember when me and Leah very first got Sparrow was the first cat we got, and he was a teeny weeny little kit, and we were living in that teeny weeny little 1-bedroom apartment, and then he disappeared. This was a tiny little apartment, not very many places to hide. He went in the kitchen under the cabinets and found this little crack between the cabinets up under the ledge under the cabinets and hid up in there. That was our first experience getting him, as he ran and hid and disappeared for hours. So we had to go back and get his brother. Anyway. Yeah, we got Sparrow, Taro, and Sage. So anyway, yeah, we're done. We're done with the animals. We got enough. We've got enough. What are y'all up to, man? What are y'all up to? I got about 10 more minutes before I'm gonna head up out of here. We haven't even really hit on any really important topics this morning. You know, we don't have to. I'm always open to that, to be able to go on a really good lecture or something like that. But maybe nobody needs to hear that this morning. I just kind of feel like that's my civic duty, you know, just something with me. I know that I could get on here and probably talk about anything and y'all wouldn't give a damn. Y'all wouldn't give a damn. But that's what I just do feel like that's what my job is, man. I feel like that's what my job is. Yep. At the end of the day, I don't feel like my job is like, because man, there's so many people. It's so hard, dude. I'm telling you, it is very difficult whenever, especially in the spiritual community on the internet. It really will begin to test where you are with your evolution when you start getting a following, you start making money. It'll really test where you are with your evolution. It'll really test where you are with it. How many spiritual people in the spiritual community have you seen end up just getting addicted to all the ego-based shit? All they care about is growing a big following, and all they care about is making their money and this and that, and then they end up just completely falling off. And when I say falling off, I mean falling off, the spiritual wagon they're on. I've seen it happen many times, and I constantly got to check myself over that. Constantly. My number one priority is not my money. My number one priority is not my following, and how big my audience is or any of that ego-based shit. My number one priority is to make sure that I'm putting a message out there for those people with eyes to see. If you want it, to be able to hopefully help it, take it and have it help you transform your life somehow. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like my job is. That's what I feel like my job. Speaking of which, I will be doing another giveaway. I know I've talked about it a couple of times, but I'm doing it this time, y'all. I'm doing it this time. I will be doing another giveaway. I have been doing it I'd set little milestones for myself, and I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, dude. I just got lazy last time. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't gonna make up no excuses. I got lazy. I didn't do a 200K giveaway. Did I? Hang on. Did I do a 200K giveaway? I think the last one that I did was for 150K. I think that was the last one that I did. So for 200 and 250K, I just got lazy. So I don't feel like it. I got lazy. I don't feel like it. I'm not doing that this time, y'all. Not doing that this time. For 300K, I'm doing a big giveaway. Yeah, I really had to sit down and have that talk with myself, I really had to do it. And I'm on my way there. I am on my way there. So I got to show some kind of appreciation. You know what I mean? Some kind of appreciation. For the very most part, well, I think this year, but for the very most part, my audience has grown at a very steady rate. This year, though, I think has been really heavy with personal readings, really heavy. So it did kind of plateau a little bit, the size of my audience growing. Because, man, I'm going to tell you what, dude. And I went through a period and I told myself, y'all probably remember this. I was like, man, I don't care how many personal readings I got. I'm going to hit my main channel as hard as I can. And that lasted for about a month or two, but I just couldn't keep it going, dude. I could not keep that going. In the tarot community, it depends on how much content you put out. Okay, as to how fast your audience grows. That's what it depends on. Mm-hmm. That's what it depends on. If you can steadily put out, I think minimum 3 to 4 videos a day, every single day, consistently. That's what gets your audience to grow, because then that's the algorithm starts throwing you out, to more people. See what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you what, man, when you got 5, 6, 7, 8 personal readings that come in, that's really hard to do. But again, like I was just saying a minute ago, I have to stop and check myself. Whoa, hold up. My number one priority is helping people, you know? So I've had to have that talk with myself. It's a battle. It's difficult. I've had to say my number one priority right now is helping people, you know? So when these people come to me personally, you know, and I have something, even if it's just one little seed that I could plant, one little, even if it doesn't really, even if you listen to what I say and it doesn't sound like much, you know, and it, one little seed that could hopefully bloom and blossom into something one day that could help change somebody's life. That is more important than growing a big following. You know what I mean? It's more important than that to me. And I gotta keep myself in check, man. I'm a human too. I'm a human too. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the positive feedback. Thank you. Virgo Earth Tarot. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's one of them things, man. One of them things. Ooh, that my I have a very specific assignment here. And it's this is the thing too. I've known this for years. Sometimes I'll sit back and reflect back on it. I've known it and I've felt it for years, years and years. Before YouTube even existed, I always knew in some way, shape, form, or fashion, I have something to say that people need to hear. You know, and I know that sounds like arrogant, but it's not in an arrogant way. It drove me crazy because I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant. Not in a, oh, I'm so cool. I had no self-esteem, dude. I hated myself. I tried to kill myself. Okay. I had no self-esteem, no self-esteem whatsoever. I had a massive, like, up until probably the past 5 years, especially after I went homeless, I was always the shy, hang my head down, tuck my tail between my legs type of person, you know? But I always like felt it burning in my soul. There's something that I'm supposed to be saying that people need to hear. And it drove me nuts, man. Drove me crazy. Drove me absolutely insane. And it makes sense now. So that's why I say I really strongly feel in my soul. It's not just, you know, ooh, all of a sudden, you know, I popped off on YouTube, so I think I'm supposed to. No, I've felt this burning in my soul the majority of my life, you know. So now that I've felt that for so many years, and then I'm put in the position, I'm like, yeah, man, I got to keep myself in check constantly. Constantly got to keep myself in check. Know what I mean? And I get testimonials every day, every single day. I get those testimonials in a comment section or in my Instagram DM or in Facebook or whatever. And that always lets me know, keep doing what you're doing. It's working. It's helping. Like I was telling y'all yesterday, man, what I'm bringing to the table isn't anything new. It's not anything new. Nope. That's the thing about it. I can't take credit. It's not stuff that I made up. I didn't make any of the things that I teach and the concepts that I explain are nothing new. It's nothing that I made up at all. I just pretty much dedicated my life to figuring out how to explain it in a way that anybody will understand it if they want to. You know what I mean? It makes sense. Anyway. Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Bianca, thank you. Appreciate you. Multiple twin flames. I don't like that term, man. I don't like that phrase, that term twin flame. It makes it too misleading. It makes it too misleading. It's way too misleading, you know? Multiple twin flames. I don't really have time to go on that whole lecture this morning, but yeah, you have there. Well, you can't put a blanket over everybody. You know what I mean? You can't put one blanket statement that says, you have this many of this, and that you can't do that for everybody. It doesn't work that way. But for those people who do experience twin flame connections, yeah, very frequently it does happen with multiple people, you know. And I don't even like, I can't wait until we get rid of that phrase twin flame. It's too misleading, dude. It's too misleading. It gives people the wrong idea. It gives too many people the wrong idea of what it is and what the connection means and whatnot. But for now, that's all we really have to go on, you know, because I don't know who coined that fucking phrase, but But anyway, yeah, it typically the people who play the biggest influence in your life, yeah, there is usually more than one. There is usually more than one. It usually doesn't just never mind. Again, I don't have a whole lot of time here. I got to be getting out of here, and well, actually, here real soon. I've been on here for a little over an hour now, but yeah, more than one of those types of connections will more than likely enter into your life. And if you look at it, wait, and reserve some time in the future to be able to look back in hindsight. Just do that. You'll be able to tell, oh, that makes sense because I met these people in order. This person was the catalyst for me to meet this person. And that person was the catalyst for me to meet this person. And then you'll see you meet certain people in a certain order. It's so beautifully planned out. Whenever you actually get on the healing path, it doesn't work until you get on the healing path and you actually start healing. Okay. But whenever you actually get on that healing path and then you're able to look back, you'll see how it all flows together so beautifully and perfectly, It's just like, man, that dot connected to that dot. Whoa, that's so cool, dude. Anyway, my arms are more muscular, are they? I haven't really been doing a lot of progress looking at. It's nowhere near where I want to be, but I guess it's getting there. Yeah, the bodybuilding journey is a slow, steady journey. I don't want to be a big ass tank though. That's not what I'm going for. I'm not going to be one of those big, huge, that's not my goal. That is not the goal. But I am going to target all the specific muscle groups and tone them up because I want to be like a hybrid. I don't want to be a skinny cardio guy, but I also don't want to be a big jacked up, pump weights meathead. I want to be like in between. I want to be that kind of person that could be able to go out there and run with the skinny guys and then go in the gym and pump iron with the meatheads at the same time. I want to be like in between. That's my goal. That's the goal. So it's a fun journey, man. This fitness journey I've been on it sucked so bad. You all have no idea how bad it sucked. Unless those of you who are actually been there. I was just telling Coach Drew yesterday at the gym too. It seems like everything that I've ever been successful at, any kind of success I've ever found, the universe always makes me start off at rock bottom. Always makes me start off at rock bottom, no matter what. And it's no different with fitness, man. By the time I went and started my fitness journey, my fitness was at a rock bottom. Okay, at a rock bottom. I had been a career YouTuber for 2 years at that point. So for the last 2 years of my life, I've had no physical activity. I've been sitting around. The vast majority of my time is spent sitting around doing nothing but this, eating whatever kind of food I want, drinking as much alcohol as I want, beer, and I had put on so much body fat and I had no muscle, none. All my muscles had atrophied away because I didn't use them for anything. So I had to start off at the fucking rock bottom and climb up this mountain, And I'm still nowhere near the top of that mountain. Coach Drew argues with me though. He doesn't agree with that. He says that I've climbed many mountains and made a lot of progress. I just don't feel like I have. I'm very hard on myself. I'm real hard on myself. I don't know. I guess I'm getting better at the bench press like yesterday. Yesterday, he put me on the incline bench press, and I'm getting better at that. That's tough. That's hard. That's not an easy thing to do. The bar alone is like 60 pounds, and then you slap another 50 pounds on that, man, you look over, I would watch people doing it. Like, oh man, that looks easy. Bench pressing looks easy. It looks easy as hell. You got that little 25-pound weight on each side. That ain't nothing, man. I could do that. Get down on that bench and then get that bar up over you. Like, it's not as easy as it looks. I learned that the hard way. That's another thing about the fitness journey. It's very humbling. Very, very, very humbling. It's extremely humbling. It will let you know what you're capable of and what you're not. Every single day. That's another thing. Another thing that's really helped my humility out a whole lot. Another thing that's really kept me on a humble path. You get in that gym, man, you find out real quick. You find out real quick that, man, you're just a weak little human. You're just a weak little human, you know? I've had to have that reminder every single day. It's nothing. And I've really like, I don't know, man, how to explain what I'm trying to say, but it's just very humbling. Let's put it that way. Very, very, very humbling. Anyway, though, y'all, it is about time for me to get on out of here. It's about that time. It's about that time. I greatly appreciate every last one of you that tuned in and listened to me blab and run my mouth this morning. I'm going to try to, the goal for today is to get the rest of the November extendeds done. What day is today? Wednesday? I might try to find some kind of all signs video to do to pull out my ass. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all again for tuning in. I'll see you later on today doing something on my main channel. Have a good one.